You need to stop behaving like children. A child looks for a savior, someone who will appear out of nowhere, take them by the hand, and solve all their problems. This will never happen. Never happened before, and will never happen in the future. This is not how reality works. You believe that a mayor, a governor, a president, a religious leader, or whoever is in power will solve your problems. Wake up. This is the great illusion of modern democracy. It does not exist. The emotional energy you dedicate to political or religious heroes is wasted. First, realize that politicians do not command anything fundamental. All of them. Every single one who reaches power, regardless of their campaign promises, must bend the knee to those who truly run everything. This idea of left-wing or right-wing, Republicans or Democrats, does not exist in the practical reality of power. All of them obey the same master. This obedience is not optional. It is the cost of taking office. And the master does not care about ideologies or sides. They are not capitalists or communists. They simply command, regardless of the system of government or ideological leaning. The only thing they care about is the maintenance and consolidation of control and capital. In fact, they love this division, a division that makes their ruling a lot easier. You need to investigate. Who truly runs everything? Who actually dictates the rules of the world we live in, setting the parameters that politicians must obey? Look at the laws that are approved, the regulations that are imposed. The political system operates on incentives, and those incentives are set by money. Do you know what lobbying is? Research how this ruthless system works, the system that is deeply entrenched within the legislative process, where corporate interests write the very laws that govern them. Or perhaps you do know what lobbying is, and you simply accept that this is just how things work, believing this corruption to be normal. While you waste your finite energy fighting amongst yourselves over your preferred political side, those who truly command the system are extremely satisfied. This division is exactly what they want. The more division, the easier the control. The tactic of divide and conquer is ancient, yet here we are in the 21st century, still failing to learn this simple lesson. This continuous fighting guarantees the master's status quo. They know that as long as we are divided, focused on superficial differences, they will never be removed from power. Stop being ignorant and childish. This behavior only leads to failure and to slavery before the true masters, who dictate the rules of the global economy. Capitalism or communism, both systems can succeed and both can fail. Success always depends on the human factor, specifically, the restraint and ethics of the few who hold power. And that is precisely why neither system has worked successfully to this day. The lack of ethical governance is the true failure point, and they will continue to fail until humanity becomes aware of its own power. Do you truly believe capitalism is working for the average worker? Communists, this message applies to you as well. My job here is to deliver a message from an impartial source, free of emotion and ideology. I do not depend on money or power. In every political campaign, the same thing happens. A certain candidate appears as the new savior, the one who will finally change the status quo and return power to the people. They promise swift, radical change. And this never happens. The institutional pressure and the master's influence ensure that the savior becomes just another obedient servant. Yet, we continue to follow this political theater. Open your eyes. Start thinking for yourselves. The role of the mass media in maintaining this cruel system is fundamental. They frame the debate, set the emotional parameters, and hide the structural facts. And in the age of the internet, their control has expanded exponentially. They dominate the algorithms. Do you truly believe that social networks are really designed to give voice to the people and not just to harvest data and guide behavior? Analyze these platforms coldly and stop being puppets. Stop acting like a herd driven by trending topics created by the handful of people that rule this world. And what about religions? How much more proof do you need to see the harm they cause when leveraged for power? This is not because religions are necessarily evil at their core. The cause is precisely the human being, who, upon seizing power through religion, becomes corrupted by greed, by an insatiable thirst for power, and often by the vast tax-free wealth generated by the religion. Religion can have a great benefit in the life of someone dealing with addiction or a severe character flaw, offering community and support. But its utility must always be evaluated with critical thought. You must never follow the words of religious leaders blindly, as if they were a divine message that must be obeyed without even thinking of questioning it. This, I submit to you, is divinized ignorance. It is handing your critical thinking capacity directly to the master. The educational system is another pillar essential to controlling the masses. It is the first stage of training. It is designed to teach you not how to think, but what to think. Teaching people to be a simple gear in the engine of blind servitude is an excellent way to optimize the human raw material that the masters of power require. The curriculum is optimized to produce high-performing operational components, obedient workers, good taxpayers, and passive consumers, not self-governing system controllers. Stop wanting to be the sole owner of the truth. You are not in any condition to claim absolute knowledge, not even close. Instead, assume the position of the apprentice, always questioning everything, always maintaining doubt. Question your news, question your leaders, question your own biases. You will see that your personal evolution will accelerate and amplify immediately. Understand this once and for all. You are the ones who hold the true and definitive power. If you, the people, so choose, no company can function. Even with all the tools of artificial intelligence working for them, a massive coordinated input of human evaluation and decision-making is still necessary. If you want it, every single company stops working. I'm saying this just so you realize the power that's in your hands. The masters must feel your power in their wallets. When they feel it in their own pocket, when their revenue streams dry up, that is the only moment real change can occur. This is the only way to make a real change in people's lives. It is not easy to coordinate collective action, of course. No one is saying it is easy, but the mechanism for change is simple, truly. It requires unity. This world has many qualities, many beauties, but it is governed, at least for now, by forces that do not want the true evolution of the human being. They do not want humans to achieve high consciousness, a minimally acceptable understanding to master their own lives and their environment. Always be aware of this simple truth. This awareness, this realization that you are not a child seeking salvation, but a powerful self-governing entity, is the excellent starting point for you to stop behaving like and effectively being children. This is the only path to becoming a system controller in your own life.